Well, reports first came out a couple of months ago. I remember we talked about it on this show, that it was looking like they were going to put out their first look at Avengers Doomsday with Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, last week, a couple of other websites said they've now heard that they're actually going to do it. And I can now tell you myself, not that this makes it any more official than the other websites, so take this for what it will. And remember, I'm not the studio, okay? So take this with a grain of salt. But I can tell you that I spoke to somebody over at Disney, and it's 100%. They are featuring some kind of teaser, some kind of trailer of Avengers Doomsday by, what is it, December 19th? Is that when Avatar Fire and Ash comes out? Anyway, about 5.5, 6 weeks away, we're going to get our first look at Avengers Doomsday in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. So I can tell you that for 100% for sure. But here's the funny thing. A couple days ago, I was talking to a friend of mine who is in those circles and said, it's not just the tweaking. They said, this trailer is so important. They said, John, you and Rob said that this was going to be the most important trailer maybe of all time. You have no idea how right you were, because this trailer is so important. They put, not just talking about minor tweaks, they put together like 20 something different versions of this trailer.
So Rob and I were talking about this morning.
Yeah.
So I reached out to someone I know over Marvel. Again, just to give you some context for me and industry insiders, I know a lot of people at a bunch of the different studios, some better than others. And I often send out emails saying, hey, can you confirm this? Can you do that? Like maybe 90% of the time, they just never write me back. Okay, so because like I'm a nobody. So these people do not write me back. Every once in a while, though, they do. Every once in a while, they do. Sometimes just to say fuck off. Sometimes to say I can't comment.
That was very Monty Python of you.
And sometimes to actually give me an answer. So I wrote to somebody over at Marvel Disney. And I said, hey, I kind of heard this. Any truth to that? And they simply said, no, not 20 or more. 30 or more. Woo. Now, understand this. We made a little documentary called Movie Trailers, A Love Story. And part of making that documentary, I had the outrageous pleasure of going and sitting down and talking with the heads of one of the most preeminent awards-laden trailer houses in the movie industry. And during our conversation with these people whose company it is to make the big all-time great trailers, they were talking to me about how they would have many back and forths. Like, here's our trailer. We take some notes. Okay, then we make some little adjustments. Okay, now here's the trailer. And that can go through many, many iterations. But that is different from what got communicated to me, that this is just like straight up wholesale, multiple trailer companies.
Yeah.
Not
it's a bake
one.
off.
20 to 30 versions of this trailer that would then, each one of those would have little minor corrections and tidbits and stuff like that. They are so aware over at Marvel about how much is riding on this. Now, again, let me give you some context on this, okay? Every trailer is important to a movie. Absolutely. But the thing that makes the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, what I think Rob agrees, contend is probably the most significant and maybe the most important movie trailer ever made, is that you are talking about the biggest movie franchise in film history, the MCU Marvel, which has never been in a more precarious position than it is right now. I think everybody can agree that however good or not good you think the MCU is right now, I think we can all agree that it's on more shaky ground than it's ever been. It's more hit and miss than it's ever been. You may still think it's really good. You may think it's not that good, but we all agree it's not as good as it used to be. And now we're heading in to their crown jewel, their Avengers franchise. And you're about to put out your first look at it. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. What was the James Cameron produced one? Alita Battle Angel.
Oh.
That one had a terrible first trailer. And even though the movie ended up being really good and future trailers were better, that movie never recovered from that first trailer that made everybody go, oh my God, what the hell is that? This is the most important trailer for a movie probably ever. They got so much writing on this. And Rob, this seems to confirm that they are keenly aware of that because they are pulling out all the stops. They are going to go so bonkers on the marketing of this movie. It is going to be analyzed, maybe overanalyzed, but they're going to make sure it is the absolute best thing they can put out. And by the way, don't expect them to reveal the whole store in this first trailer. They're going to have a year-long strategy. A year-long strategy. So what we're going to get is not the greatest trailer of all time. What we're going to get is a very strategic first piece. But it's so important. They've put a lot of time, money, resources into this. And apparently, Rob, like over 30 different versions of it. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's zapier.com/Campea. Anyway, you hear this, Rob. Does this track? Are we surprised to hear the numbers even that big? I don't know. What are you taking away from this?
Oh, I thought for sure that they would hire multiple trailer companies to make it. Usually when they do that, it's called a bake-off, you know, and they do that. They did that a lot with effects companies. They'd have a bake-off to see how effects companies would approach a certain situation. With this trailer, like we've talked about, they're also putting this trailer out a year in advance of the movie.
Which didn't used to be all that unusual,
No,
but it's absolutely unusual today.
So people are going to watch. It would not surprise me if this outdoes Deadpool and Wolverine's trailer numbers, because this is going to be looked at for so very long. I mean, you know, my personal theory is at the end of this trailer, they're going to announce Doomsday Part 1 and Doomsday Part 2, and Doomsday Part 1 is going to come out next summer, and Doomsday Part 2 is coming, I don't know. But
they're all 3 A's.
That's going to happen. But by the way, I don't know, and that's not going to happen. I'm speculating, wouldn't it be cool if? That's what Rob G would tell you. But this trailer is so important. And like we've said, because it's going to be scrutinized more than any other trailer, and people are going to make, John, a decision. This trailer, if you aren't excited, like, you can't get 60% of the audience excited. You can't get 70%. You need 95 or above % of people who watch this trailer to want to go see this movie. And they're putting out a year in advance. I mean, it's baller. You know, they're putting it out there. They're hanging out. They're going to show us. I mean, they're not going to show us all the surprises or everything, but we will decide. And if the audience isn't convinced, especially your core audience, you're going to get think pieces written every day.
Yeah.
People say good. There's no publicity, but good publicity. No, all publicity is even bad publicity. Yeah. Not for this movie.
No,
because
not at all.
Because at first you can ride out the first week, but this will get hammered on for a year. And it's too bad because I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe so much. I mean, Infinity War and Endgame bring me such joy. And I personally, I want to love this trailer because I'll watch it 100 times. I want to love it, John. Please make me feel the love. Make me feel the love. You know, as an aside, I was this past weekend years old when I found out that they have this unbelievable making of, it's a 2-part making of the Avatar movies on Disney Plus.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I turned on Disney Plus. You know why? Because I
think it's fairly new.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And as somebody who made behind the scenes documentaries about movie making, this documentary is unbelievably well photographed. And if you wanted to know how they made this movie, I mean, it doesn't get, I would have made it go more in depth, but oh my God, it's incredible. And the behind the scenes footage is the best ever shot for anything. I'm just saying as an aside. And I can't wait to see Avatar. So these two things combined together, they're not just putting out a trailer, they're putting out this trailer in front of Avatar.
Yeah.
And you know, my excitement for Avatar, Fire and Ash is I don't care what the haters say. Come at me, bro. I can't wait to see this movie. I cannot wait. But this trailer is going to be part of that experience. And if this trailer is good, imagine what Disney has, what they have in the palm of their iron glove. If you deliver, and I get to see this, I'm going to go see this trailer. I don't want to watch it online. I want to see it in an IMAX theater. I want to sit there.
I suspect they're not going to. I suspect, no one's confirmed this. I suspect they're not going to drop this thing online, at least prior to when Avatar comes out. I think they're exclusively going to attach it to the Avatar film first.
It might not drop till the Monday after.
I'm just saying that I am over the moon about I'm walking into an IMAX screen. I'm going to the Irvine Spectrum. I'm seeing it in true IMAX, and I'm going to see this trailer, and I'm seeing Fire and Ash. And you know what? Their God will have a dominion in my head for another year if that trailer is good. Bring it. Show me the money.
Now, I'm going to have to temper this a little bit. Because, again, listen, other than hearing the number, I have no other information about this trailer. None. I suspect, and I could be wrong, and I hope I am, but I suspect this is not going to be a traditional 2-minute, 2.5-minute trailer. I think it could, maybe it's a 30-second thing. Remember, we do have a year to build up to this thing. Maybe it's 30 seconds. Maybe it's a minute. I have no idea. But whatever it is, it has to be the best one of those ever made. If it's a 30-second little tease, it's got to be like one of the greatest 30-second little teases we've ever seen. You know what I mean?
I am willing to bet. I think there's a bit of this. It's on one of the... Do you know what movie had the most important trailer of all time before this movie?
Which one's that?
Titanic. And they talk about this. There's a piece online you can watch. The first Titanic trailer was like 3.5 minutes long.
Because that movie was so over budget.
It was so over budget. It was a
such an
total
important
disaster.
thing, yeah.
And they showed it at CinemaCon. It was Show West at the time. Mm-hmm. And they had made this, and they were freaking out. Everyone's like, you can't make a 3.5 minute trailer for a movie. And they're like, oh, yes, we can. And who was responsible for making sure that trailer got there, and who made sure it was 3.5 minutes long?
Is it
Jimmy
C? Is it
Jimmy C
guy?
Do you know who's consulting? Who's become? I mean, you talk about how Trachtenberg talked to Jimmy C about Badlands, and he wasn't totally enthusiastic, and then he came back and watched the final movie.
Right.
If you don't think Jimmy C is going to be the final arbiter of what trailer they're going to show in front of his movie, you're out of your mind. Because
here's the other thing about all that too, because some people say, oh no, they'll definitely drop it online before it drops with Avatar. Here's why you're wrong. By the way, I don't know this for a fact, but here's why I think you're wrong. Because not only are they going to leverage Avatar to put as many eyeballs on the Doomsday trailer as possible, I think you're a little bit crazy if you don't understand that they're going to leverage the promise of a Doomsday trailer to get even more people out to see Avatar on its opening weekend. I guarantee you, I'm not saying how big the number is. Rob, I 100% believe there are people who are going to go opening weekend to see Avatar, Fire and Ash that maybe wouldn't have or might have waited a little bit longer. There are going to be some people that go to see this thing opening weekend exclusively because they want to be one of the first people to see this new Avatar, or this new Avengers Doomsday.
100%
spot.
certainty.
It's meant to help Doomsday, and it's meant to help Avatar.
Not since the Phantom Menace is there going to be. So, I mean, the Titanic trailer was incredibly important when they showed it at Show Us. It changed that trailer, that 3.5 minute trailer, changed the entire world's perception about Titanic. That's what this trailer has to do.
It actually,
but they've got harder. It's not just the right. You have to make fanboys and people gushing like us. You got to convince us.
I think what we have to look at are going to be the opening day weekend, because traditionally Avatar is not open that strong.
No, Avatar's never, like Avatar 1 and 2
numbers.
do not actually open that big on opening weekend.
70 million and then 134. So with this opening ahead,
you're talking 150, 160, I think.
Yeah. And you know what? I bet the trailer will be converted into 3D too. And it'll be like the bet because Avatar is going to be 3D.
Oh, probably.
And they'll probably make it the best 3D conversion of all time because they've made these Marvel movies have 3D versions of them. We just don't get them in the States.
Nobody cares about 3D.
Yeah, but they do in front of Avatar.
For
and IMAX.
Avatar,
Yeah, in front of Avatar, that could, you're right. That
Avatar
could be
movie-
the one difference.
The
yeah.
Avatar movies are the best 3D that's ever
It's
been
the only
done.
3D movie I see. I typically will see Avatar in like 2D and 3D, but it's the only one I see in 3D now.
And by the way, 5-6 weeks away, bruh.
It's so close, it's ridiculous. Like I feel like I sometimes forget it was nearly 2 years ago that Robert Downey Jr. came out on stage. Well, I mean, a year and a half ago. That it still feels like it was like 4 or 5 months ago. It was like not this past Comic-Con. It was the one before that. It's actually been a really long time since Robert Downey Jr. came out on the stage and said, "New mask, same task." And it's but here we are. We're literally now just weeks away from getting our first real look at it. I mean, they've wrapped principal photography on. It's been done for a while, but it's kind of crazy. So what are we going to get? Guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, it's confirmed. It's coming out with Avatar. They got multiple trailer production companies to make multiple versions of this thing to try to get the first one because they know how important this thing is. What are you expecting out of it? Do you think it's going to be like a 30-second mini tease, a full proper teaser that's like a minute 20, a full trailer that's like 2.5 minutes? What do you think they're going to show? What do you think they're not going to show? Remember, it is just step one in a year-long plan of marketing. But whatever you guys think we're going to get, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.